Our Roboticon Tampa Bay 2014 coverage is proudly powered by the Microsoft Store. Work smarter with Microsoft Office and the all-new Surface Pro 3, or get your game on with the Xbox One and the Halo Collection or Sunset Overdrive. The Microsoft Store has it all for everyone. Go get your favorite gadget now at f5live.tv/Microsoft.
If you're watching live, you were just seeing some 3D printed stuff to my right.
Good stuff.
I'll have you go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Laird Popkin, and this is Tony Moore from E-nabling. We're a group that gives away 3D printed prosthetics for people.
That's a really cool thing. So I had the opportunity of sitting with somebody at lunch yesterday from your organization who said that the models are kind of open sourcey. They're just available, and you guys look for people to partner with.
Exactly. Everything we do is open and shared and free. So there are lots of designs like this hand that...
which is awesome.
Yeah, we have a bunch of designers that made these things, give it all away for free. So the designs are all up and at enablingthefuture.org for free, or you can look on Thingiverse and the other 3D printing websites like Imagine.
Sure.
So you can just download them and print them. But we also have a website with a bunch of tools to help a little more than that. So we have something called the E-nabling Matcher. That's how Tony and I met up, for example. And you should definitely talk to her in a minute. Basically, I said, well, okay, I live in Fort Lauderdale, and I'm interested in helping out. I've got a printer. And she went and said, hey, I live in Florida, and I need a hand. And it introduced us, and then we got to know each other, and now we've been working on helping each other out.
I love that. So the system helps match up people with printers and people with need.
Exactly. So
That's
there's
cool.
like 2,500 people in there now.
Wow.
Globally.
That's really cool.
I mean, a lot in the U.S., a lot in Europe. Fewer people with 3D printers in Africa.
Fair enough.
But, we're working on that. See, that's nice. See, nice little map. But, so basically we're thousands of people globally that just want to help each other out. Now, commercial prosthetics are great, but they're tens of thousands of dollars.
Sure.
And so a lot of people can't afford that. Insurance companies often don't cover it, particularly with kids, because kids grow up very quickly. So you don't want to spend, $8,000, $10,000 on a prosthetic and then 6 months later do it again. That's a kind of expensive hobby.
Sure.
So usually insurance companies won't cover it till they're 17, 18 years old. So the idea is that you can do something like this for people for tens of dollars instead of tens of thousands of dollars.
Awesome.
Right?
So what is the average cost of one of these?
We're sort of saying $50.
Okay.
Ballpark. I mean, essentially, it's just printed plastic, elastic, string, 5 screws, some Velcro, and some padding.
Okay.
And Tony can show you hers, right? And so, what does that cost? $20?
Sure.
It sort of depends, right?
Yeah. It depends on the size.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's a size difference, and when it comes to 3D printing, it comes down to how much of the plastic is used. So
exactly, and different materials have different costs, but still, you're not talking about thousands of dollars.
Sure.
Maybe it's $10 or $20.
Yeah.
And obviously, all the time is volunteer work. Now, we still think it's a great idea to work with an occupational therapist and a physical therapist, and those guys should be paid. They do great work. But what we're trying to do is radically drop the cost down to where the economics are prohibitive. You've got an option, right? If you can afford the $50,000 Awesome My Electric thing, awesome, great. They're wonderful. If you kind of don't have that money, now you got an option.
Or like you said with kids.
Exactly.
That will swap through them quick.
Right, exactly. So we work very closely with like the FDA and so on, because we're not against them. We want to work with them to be innovative and create an opportunity for hundreds of thousands of people that need this stuff.
So how did you find out about the organization in the first place? Like, where did you encounter the website?
I just read about it on news stories because the press has been phenomenally good about this stuff.
Excellent.
Because big robot hands, right? Good and particularly when you get really smiley people like Tony. So the press has been great.
And when you print them in Spider-Man colors, that certainly helps.
Yeah. There's a Wolverine hand somebody did that's awesome. I mean, come on.
I love that.
I need to get 2 of those.
Well,
that's what we're doing.
Because one, if it's great physically because you get a useful tool, right?
Uh-huh.
And it encourages using the muscles, so you build up the muscle strength.
Okay.
But the other aspect is motivation, that you take a kid who was the crippled kid and turn him into a superhero, Iron Man, Wolverine, right?
Yeah, that's wonderful.
All of a sudden they become cool,
Yeah.
and they're the coolest kid in the class instead of the kid that hid in the back. So
Sure.
it's huge. But
So self-esteem and everything. That's really awesome.
Exactly. So, Tony, how about I hand this over to her?
Yep. Quick swap out.
Yeah.
We can make that happen.
All right. So how did you encounter the website?
Being born with amniotic band syndrome, I often randomly search the internet to find people like me, or if I can help a child that has it, if I can, I don't know, just be a sounding board for them, be a voice for them, and give them confidence.
Sure.
And this is exactly what this does. So I just
Awesome.
wanted to help in designing new ones and come talk at things like this and show people how awesome E-nable is.
It really is cool, and it really fits in with First. Not just because you're wearing a robot hand that was printed with a 3D printer,
Yes.
which is awesome, but like you said, the kids that don't fit in the back of the class.
Yeah.
We have
I
some
mean
of that,
that certainly describes a lot of the reason why a lot of the kids here get involved in First. So
Yeah.
it really
this
does
is
make sense.
Life-changing for a child.
Yeah, absolutely.
And this is something a kid can use their engineering skills for
Yeah.
beyond robotics.
Absolutely, yeah.
And if you can put one of these in a robot, that's good too.
Absolutely. It's a perfect class project.
Yeah, it would be. It's definitely good that you guys are here, because a lot of the teams that are here are going to end up with a 3D printer in the next couple of weeks if they don't already have one. So this is a great way for them to get some outreach into their engineering notebooks.
Absolutely.
That's huge. And
Yeah.
This is a great thing for FRC kids to do off
Yeah.
season.
Yes.
Because it's a community contribution. It's
Yeah.
huge.
There's a lot of stuff we try to do to keep the FRC and the FTC kids engaged off season. So yeah, this is great. I'm glad that you're here. I'm glad that you've been here to talk to the kids, because like I said, there's going to be a whole lot of new 3D printers looking for something to do here.
There it
Yeah.
is.
There you go.
So
EnablingTheFuture.org.
enablingthefuture.org.
Join the revolution, make a difference. Want more information? EnablingTheFuture.org or info@enablingthefuture.org. We appreciate you guys coming on the show.
Thank
This
you.
is some
Yeah,
cool
thanks.
stuff. Thank you so much.
All right, we'll see you guys later.
Awesome. Have a good one.
That's a good way to start
Yeah,
the show right there. I
that's-
can't.
That's really cool, and the kind of the cool unexpected bit is that First just announced last week that they had procured 3D printers
Crazy.
that they are distributing to teams around the world.
That's
So
nuts.
all of a sudden we've got 3D printers with nothing to do with them. I mean, during the off season they're going to be off.
Now here's the idea. Take those 3D printers and make 3D printers with those 3D printers, like we saw at MakerCon. All of those making 3D printers.
There you go.
And they just clone themselves, and then eventually, I think, if I'm not mistaken, this is like the predecessor to iRobot. They just take over the world.
See,
I think you got to put a limit on how many 3D printers a 3D printer can make.
Okay, so here's the thing. In Futurama, they dealt with this exact problem.
Did they?
And, yeah.
All right.
And the way that the professor dealt with it was that the clones were in 2/3 size. So
it's like the little Russian things.
yeah,
where
yeah.
They go inside.
So every time you duplicated one,
It's
they got smaller.
Okay.
Except that Bender kept cloning himself to the point where he was a molecule. He was little, and so he turned all the water on the planet to alcohol, and everybody
All right.
got drunk.